Don't be afraid to boss us around.
Yeah.
We're...
Oh, is that your clap?
Congratulations, guys. This is the first recording with the new cameras.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Sweet.
Presented by B&H.
Welcome to the next episode of the Explore podcast here at Elkhart Public Library. I am Sam Householder, the communications manager at Elkhart Public Library, and with me is Trevor.
I have to introduce myself. Okay, I'm Trevor Wenzonka. I'm chief marketing guy here at the library.
Yeah, we're the marketing guys. Is just the easiest way to say it. Mm-hmm. And so we'll be running down some of the stuff coming up here in the late spring and early summer. It's an exciting time to kick off by the time you're watching this, the latest issue of Explore magazine will have been out for a couple weeks. And we're excited about the content in there. The big story focuses on some families that moved to Elkhart and how their lives ended up coinciding with the library. And the whole issue is very good, but that story in particular was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I love how people like to come to the library, of course, to find out things, but it's also a place where they find their community. Mm-hmm. They can get to know folks. You know how strange it is when you move someplace new and you're just trying to figure out which way the streets run and all of that stuff. And it's just good to see folks get to hear their stories and really come to know them. Mm-hmm. But I think it also tells a really good story about the library and, all the different things that we have to offer.
Yeah, for sure. And it's exciting to hear families say, we moved into Elkhart and we needed a place to go as a family. And my first thought was, where's the library? And they'd find the branch nearest to their home, and now they're coming in every week, or a lot of them. It coincided last summer, and so they ended up getting their kids into the Summer Reading Challenge. This year's Summer Reading Challenge starts May 16th, so it's probably been going on for a few days now by the time you're watching this. And this is the big program we do every summer. Let's tell people about it.
Right. It's pretty cool. You get a couple thousand kids coming into the library, and get to reward them for their reading. Yeah. It's not something that we do every day, but certainly summertime's really important for us to, in the partnership that we have with schools to help kids, keep them engaged through summer. It's not all about Nintendo Switch and running around the park, although that's a good piece of it.
Right.
But helping keep their skills up, when it comes to reading. And we know if they can hold that level that they're at or maybe even improve upon those skills, they're that much better when they go back into the classroom. And teachers seem to appreciate that.
Yeah. I always hear from teachers worried about the summer learning loss, and the best way to keep those skills is to use them. And the Summer Reading Challenge, the fun thing about it for kids is that they get to pick their books for a change instead of being assigned Great Expectations or whatever it is. They get to pick books that they think are fun, and then we got some great rewards that they can earn along the way from local businesses like Mini Delights, Vanilla Bean Creamery, Bird in the Hand, All Things Snacks, Freshies Pizza is a new one this year.
Freshies came in huge, man.
Yeah. Kids are going to be able to get their own personal pan pizza, so a little bit of that. If you're my age, the old school, I don't know if I can say the name of it. But
no, we won't, because we like Freshies.
Yes. So the one that the red roofed building used to do, and then Secret Door Games and County Parks are coming in big too. So yeah, it's just a great opportunity for kids to read what they want and earn some great rewards along the way. And, shout out to Ranger Distribution that helps us do all of these things. And then talk a little bit about the book review portion too.
Yeah. So every year what we've done is have kids, tell us a little bit about what they read. Because I think that's a good component here is not just to plow through a book, that maybe you've read 100 times before, right, Dad?
Right.
But also tell us maybe a little bit what you learned or what character you liked and what was so great about them. You know, and when you drop that on us, we keep those book reviews, and then we use that to pull for our grand prize winners every year. And like last year, Nellie was so happy to be able to get that Potawatomi Zoo staycation, get to meet a sloth, I think it was. We always try to keep it fun, on the grand prizes that we picked. Can't have Taylor Swift tickets every year, I suppose, but it's worked out, and I think people been able to enjoy the trips that we've been able to give them. There's always we throw in some really great gift cards there too for kids that have gone that extra mile and have done the reviews, and it's just about reading, and it's about how much fun you can have with it while you're doing it. And
exactly.
I think that's one of the best things we do here.
Yeah, and then it all will culminate in July with our prize party, which is always the biggest party of the summer here at the library. This year it's going to be at McNaughton Park, and there'll be more details about it as it gets closer. But it's always a great time. Usually there's some inflatables, there's food trucks. Like it's just such a great time. And so so look for the latest issue of Explore for all the information, the game board, information for the Beanstack app, if that's how you want to participate. Super easy to sign up for that. And then also...
And let's shout out, while we're still on that,
yeah.
let's shout out our children's department
Yes.
for working on that so hard.
Yeah.
They put together so many great programs, and it's not just about, turning in or logging your reading and turning in your reviews. There's
Right.
lots of great programs that come alongside of it, and at all 5 of our locations. And there's a lot of thought that goes into that, a lot of planning. Our folks really, are committed to this, and it's a 2-month marathon.
It is. It absolutely is. In our department and elsewhere in the building, like we always say, summer is the busy time, and summer reading is certainly that. It is a marathon, and it feels like a sprint sometimes because you blink and you're like, oh, prize party's this Thursday. Can't believe it. But I think from the outside, it certainly does feel like a marathon, and yeah, all those great programs are in the latest issue of Explore, and one that I think we wanted to highlight is the Fun in the Sun. So, 4 Mondays in June, there will be Fun in the Sun, and it goes to each branch location. So Dunlap, Cleveland, Oslo, and Pierre Moran, and it's just a couple hours of just different activities. We try our best to make sure it's outside, as long as the weather holds, and
no wildfire smoke.
It's just a really fun time to get out, and it's also a good time to bring in your game board and pick up the rewards that you've earned that week or whatever. And so look for those. You can find that information on our website, myapl.org. Elsewhere in this issue of Explore, the Truth in Our History story goes back to the 70s, a courtroom drama.
Yeah.
That's one you wrote. So I know we talked about it last episode, but I thought it would be good to touch on it again, especially for people that might have missed that first issue.
Yeah, sure. So this one goes back to 1978, and one of the characters here, the main character, is Mike Cosentino, who was an Elkhart County prosecutor. He was elected to 7 terms here. So he was a legendary courtroom force around here. Just had a really strong demeanor in the courtroom, commanding presence. But there was a new judge in town in Circuit Court, Dave Redding, and Dave had his own thoughts and feelings as to how local criminal justice and should be done. Had a lot of interesting and innovative ideas, I would say, to make the process more efficient. No-fault divorce back in the 70s. These were really some groundbreaking ideas and hadn't really been tried here. So Redding was leading that, but he was also, he wanted to be top dog too. And to see him and Cosentino go about it, just a lot of back and forth, a lot of palace intrigue, really.
Yeah.
Just to see it all come together. And there was, it culminated with Cosentino being found in contempt of court. And think about that, a circuit court judge storming into a grand jury room and then coming out and, that ending up with Cosentino having to stand there in his own defense in the courtroom. And it was just interesting. And it was a story that held on in the lore, even when I was at The Truth in the 90s and early 2000s, just that fight that took place. Verbal, of course,
Right.
A little bit more civil maybe back then. Although the words were just as sharp sometimes.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And it was really, really fun to see how it all played out. And of course, it ended with Cosentino being, cleared of contempt. But then also eventually with Dave Redding's resignation as circuit court judge, because he was just, quite frankly, if I can't do the work that 22,000 people sent me here to do that elected him to the office, he would just resign, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, across like 100 years, there have only been about 5 people that have sat on that circuit court bench.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And one of them was Dave Redding for 3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
That's
it's
how
supposed to be sort of a lifetime appointment.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was just fun to be able to kind of look back at those stories and then get to know those reporters too that had to cover that and were part of that drama themselves. So.
Yeah. And the pictures are just excellent. Like late 70s, especially Cosentino, the Italian last name, the 3-piece suit. Like it's exactly what you expect, and that's a fun piece. So I think
the photo's black and white, but you can tell that suit was powder blue.
Oh yeah. It's a good one. So people definitely encourage everybody to check that out. The other thing I want to mention, the magazine, well, 2 more things actually, but the reading champions. So that'll be almost wrapping up by the time the viewers are seeing this, but it's a new thing. It's kind of your idea, so I'll let you kind of take the lead on it. But we wanted to come up with something to really highlight classroom achievement and highlight kids that make improvement or are just enthusiastic readers in the classroom, and reward not only the students but their teachers. So
and friends of Elkhart Public Library have come alongside this, and what we're able to do is recognize the kid for their great achievements, but also their teachers and their classrooms benefit too, because we're able to supply about $250 worth of books for those classes, so that other kids can be inspired and can get to that same level that those reading champions have gotten to, have been nominated. And the saddest part about the whole thing is we can't recognize them all.
Right. Yeah.
So we try to tell as many of the stories as we can each spring. And this is our 2nd year, and I can't see it ending anytime soon. Yeah.
And so we were able to get in, I think, the first 5 or 6 in this magazine, and we'll have 5 or 6 more in the sort of late summer, early fall issue. So look for that. They are great stories. It's always fun to, I'm posting them on social, and I get to meet the kids in the class, and it's always fun. And then the other big story you wrote was about Brendan, the drummer, and that'll be another summer highlight is the Curbside Concerts here. So Brendan has played the rooftop. How many times will this be for him?
I think he's coming up on, he'll hit his 10th for sure this season. 10th time up there. 4 different bands.
Yeah, 4 different bands.
And 4 different types of music. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's a very well-rounded drummer. So how did that story come together? He seems like a fun guy to, you just got to bum around his studio for a couple hours. Oh, this is work.
Yeah, for real. Super cool dude. And the one thing, and I wish people could experience this, So if you're out in the parking lot, maybe watching one of these shows, ask me. And we'll see what we can do if we can get you a little backstage tour. Because when you're up there and Brendan's on drums, Brendan hits those drums harder than anybody else I have ever experienced.
Yeah.
He really gets into it, and you can experience his passion and just his joy in playing.
Yeah.
You know, when he is up there, and it's been really fun to see that. You know, he can play Motown, which has a style, and I mean, you have to hit that style. You have to be spot on, because everybody knows that music.
Right.
And then there's with Lalo Cura, there's Latin rock. You know, it's a lot more. It can be free expression. You know, and some of the takes that he has, and powerful, moving. You know, and then. You know, he plays with Erdman, and you know, that's kind of like Americana, a little bit of country, you know, some Tennessee whiskey thrown in and stuff. And he just has it all. He's amazing in how thoughtful he is as he goes about that, and just how adaptive he is. His studio is pretty cool. I mean, you know, driving down some back country road, you know, getting to it. He's kind of seems to be like a farm kid at heart, and you know, you don't expect that either out of a guy that's, you know, playing nightclubs every Friday and Saturday. So.
Right. And the fun thing to me about Curbside Concerts too is like you're able to, you do most of the booking, but finding local musicians, and you realize the level of talent that is around here. And you know, some of these bands, if you're not seeing them on our rooftop, you're often just seeing them in a bar on a Friday night. But these are, you know, not always professional level, but a lot of them are really. I mean, Lalo has a couple members. Brendan has done some like serious touring and recording with some big name artists. Obviously, everyone knows about Daryl Buchanan, and J.R. Clark is going to be here this summer. So, you know, the level of musician that you can see for free on the library roof is really, you know, we really try to bring in special bands, and I think that's a really cool thing.
Well, and you wrote a story a couple of years ago about Sammy Kaye, and what a great horn player he is. But I found out that I have now 2 degrees of separation with Jack White,
right?
Because Sammy plays in a band with a guy that's Nashville based, who's opening for Jack on his tour in Nashville, and I'm like, all right, well, that's cool, you know. But that's the level of musician that you get here. People that really are super talented, and maybe they just like their day job, you know, so they hang around Elkhart or South Bend and Goshen, you know, and but they, for the love of the music, they can come together and really put on a great show. Yeah,
so Curbside Concerts starts May 16th. I think by the time, again, this episode is coming out, we'll have Society's Child coming up on the 23rd, and High Gravity, always one of our biggest draws heading into the Memorial Day weekend. So
house band. Yeah.
The house band. I'm you know, I got the shirt on. I knew we were recording today, so I wore my Curbside shirt for their 5th time up here, and so this will be 6th. And so each of those shows starts at 7 p.m. Jazz Fest weekend is always different though. So those, we have headliners at 9 with an opener at 7. So Jazz Fest weekend, June
20th and 21st.
Thank you. I forgot to put that in my notes. 20th and 21st, but that'll be the early at 9 p.m. Friday with Anna P.S. opening, and then Saturday J.R. Clark Band at 9 p.m. with Dylan Tolbert. And Dylan's been here before. He plays, I mean, Anna has too, but and so is J.R. But anyway, Dylan's got just really unique music, I think, and very funky and just a fun time.
You want to see a guy rip a Stevie Wonder song and just make you watch it. He is your guy. Yeah.
It's so Jazz Fest weekend's always fun, but all the shows are going to be great. So we hope to see you out there in the parking lot for that. And
great food. Hey, you know, always come out for the food.
Yeah,
you know, Cedric
definitely
does us right.
Yes.
Lupa's Chicken will be here a couple times. Tropicana ice cream shop will be here. and it's just a fun experience, and we promise you a great show.
Yeah.
I mean, you will come upon music, you'll see people It's just such a great time, and we're thankful to be well crafted.
Yes.
And have that designation given to us by the Elkhart County CVB. Convention and Visitors Bureau comes alongside, and they sponsor us, but it's more than that. They support us, and they know that we're doing a good thing, and they like to be a part of it too.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. Coming May and June, Curbside Concerts. A couple other things to mention here. Coming up on May 23rd is downtown here is hosting a summer reading kickoff ice cream social at 4 p.m. So just come in, hear another pitch about summer reading, but just enjoy activities, ice cream. It'll be underway for a week, so I think there's a reward day in there that you'll be able to, kids can come in and claim their first reward. So look out for that. And then May 31st, the sirens, the Potawatomi.
Don't be distracted. We're on camera.
But the Potawatomi Zoo is coming to Cleveland Branch on Saturday, May 31st. So check that out too. Obviously, they'll also be downtown later this summer, but that is always a fun event, and everybody likes to get up close with the animals from the zoo. So that's what's going on with exploring the library. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, just, all our events are free.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a card holder to come in and enjoy those. We'd like you to sign up for a library card while you're here.
Yeah. Bring your proof of address and a photo ID. That's all you need. It's free. I don't know how many times people are like, how much does it cost? Like, it's nothing. You just bring a utility bill and your photo ID and you're good to go.
Employee pricing every day.
Every day. That's right. And then, please come out this summer. We'd love to see you at anything. And get your kids signed up for the Summer Reading Challenge. It's so much fun. Just earning those rewards and reading every day. And everything you can find, myepl.org, our website, myepl.org/summer for summer reading, myepl.org/curbside for curbside concerts. And I think that'll do it for this episode. I think we got to make the library quiet. So, shh.